Dropzone Commander has been on my radar for years. Long before I got into Epic Warpath, this game caught my eye. The dropship mechanic, the setting, the factions, but I never pulled the trigger on buying in. And now with 3.0 coming in August, I've been doing a little bit of research. So today I want to share what I have learned so far about the 5 current factions. This is a beginner's honest take. I will flag where I am less certain, and at the end I will tell you which faction I'm personally leaning toward if I do decide to get in. Before we start, Dropzone Commander 3.0 drops in August 2026. DD Combat has confirmed update sculpts for all factions with improved proportions on 10mm and a brand new 6th faction called the Bioficers. What I am covering today is based on the current 2nd edition. The core identity of each faction is unlikely to change completely, but specific rules and units will be updated. Keep that in mind. UCM, United Colonies of Mankind. The UCM are the human military fighting to take back their home worlds from the Scourge. Classic combined arms, tanks, infantry, artillery, dropships, all working together. If you know Imperial Guard from, for example, Warhammer 40k or Terrans from StarCraft, you already get the vibe in another scale. From what I have read, UCM are the most balanced faction in the game. Their units tend to be the cheapest point-wise, giving you lots of activations and flexibility. They do not have any major weaknesses that surprise you, which makes them the obvious starting faction. Their models have a clean, angular military look, very much what you would expect human tanks and dropships to look like in the 27th century. 3.0 update, their Praetorians Black Ops infantry are getting redesigned with bigger weapons and more heroic proportions. From the previous day, look noticeably better on 10mm scale. My honest take as an outsider, UCM looks like the safe, sensible choice that is actually reassuring that when you are spending money on a new game. The Scourge are the alien invaders who took humanity's homeworlds. They are parasitic. They physically take over other living creatures and repurpose them. The result is an army that looks genuinely unsettling. Biomechanical tanks, assimilated creatures, flying horrors. From everything I have read, Scourge are fast and extremely powerful at close range. Their plasma weapons are described as the most powerful in the game, but the vehicles have lower armor than UCM or PHR, and their effective range is much shorter. The playstyle sounds like surgical aggression. Get in, hit hard, redeploy before you get shot back. High risk, high reward, I would say. If you get caught in the open at long range, you are in trouble. My take, the Scourge models look incredible. The biomechanical aesthetic is unique in epic scale wargaming, but the playstyle sounds like it punishes mistakes hard. Probably not where I would start. PHR, Post-Human Republic. The PHR are humans who left Earth before the Scourge invasion and returned transformated, extensively augmented with cybernetics and far more advanced technology than the UCM. Think giant walkers and curved futuristic dropships rather than conventional tanks. Everything I have read describes PHR as the slow faction. They are the most heavily armored in the game and hit very hard, but they are expensive point-wise, which means smaller armies and fewer activations than UCM. Apparently they need a solid plan from the start, because once your expensive units are committed, changing course is costly. One source described them as you drop, you shoot, and you make it count, because you cannot afford to waste turns repositioning. From my side, the PHR models are genuinely some of the best looking in epic scale wargaming. Curved walkers and sci-fi dropships at 10mm look stunning. If I go into Dropzone Commander, this faction is honestly my frontrunner purely on aesthetics. Shaltari tribes. The Shaltari are an ancient alien civilization, tribal, enigmatic, and in possession of technology that humanity cannot fully understand. The biggest ability is teleportation, and this is where Shaltari are completely different from every other faction in the game. Instead of using dropships to move units around, Shaltari use a network of gates. These gates allow units to teleport directly across the battlefield. In one turn, you can have units appear on a completely different part of the table, as long as your gate network is set up correctly. From what I have read, this makes them the most mobile faction in the game, but also the most complex to play. Managing the gate network requires you to think several turns ahead. The units are also described as frequently outclassed in straight stat comparisons, meaning you have to make up for it with positioning and deception. Their infantry, though, is apparently the best in the game for close quarters combat, hard hitting, and difficult to destroy. My take as an outsider, the gate mechanic sounds fascinating and absolutely terrifying to learn. Every source I have read says the same thing. Do not start with Shaltari, learn the game first. I believe in them, but also they are the second faction I would start when I go into the game. I think the faction is very interesting. The Resistance. The Resistance are the humans who were left behind when the Scourge invaded. They survived for over a century in hiding, in sewers, in ruins, in isolation. Some groups work with the UCM, others fight everyone. Their armies reflect this, completely improvised, wildly varied, full of character. We are talking gun technicals, mining drills used to deliver troops from underground, salvaged old military tanks, weaponized civilian vehicles. No two resistance armies look the same because no two groups of survivors would have had access to the same equipment. The playstyle sounds to me like swarm tactics and guerrilla warfare, lots of cheap units, hit and run, overwhelming numbers rather than elite firepower. They received significant point reduction, as I have seen in updates, with apparently made from them very competitive. The Resistance is the faction I would recommend to anyone who loves converting models and building them themed armies. The visual variety is unmatched. If you want to tell a story with your army, this is your faction. Bioficers coming in 3.0 in August 2026. DD Combat has confirmed a new faction called the Bioficers for Dropzone Commander 3.0. From the previews, they are flesh-crafted alien creatures with weapons that literally disintegrate human soldiers and absorb the remains. If you are drawn to grotesque horror aesthetics and want to wait for 3.0 before buying in, the Bioficers might be worth watching. But do not hold off on everything just for them. There is plenty to choose from right now. So which faction would I choose if I actually bought into Dropzone Commander? Honestly, PHR, as I already have said. The Walker aesthetic at 10mm looks unlike anything else in epic scale wargaming. The playstyle of a small but elite and powerful force appeals to me. And the idea of dropping heavy walkers onto a city battlefield has a visual drama that I find really compelling. But I genuinely think all 5 factions have something worth choosing them for. There is no wrong answer. A quick decision guide. New player who wants to. The easiest start, UCM. Aggressive high-risk playstyle and unique models, Scourge. Elite army, stunning models, slow but devastating, PHR. Maximum mobility and tactical complexity, Shaltari, but learn the game first. Character, variety and storytelling through your army, Resistance. Grotesque flash horrors and happy to wait until August, Bioficers. I want to be clear again, I have not played Dropzone Commander. This is research from someone who has been watching this game for years and wants to get in before 3.0 drops. If you are an experienced Dropzone Commander player and I got something wrong, please tell me in the comments. I genuinely want to learn. Which faction would you choose? And if you already play, what would you tell a new player looking at this game for the first time? Subscribe for weekly epic scale content. My full Dropzone Commander introduction video is linked here. See you in the next one.